Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat on Michigan Business Network. Jeffrey Mosher sitting in for Chris Holman on the road. Michigan State University campus, and we're on hand with, a show host emeritus on the MBN network, Dr. Phil Knight. Dr. Phil, welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat.
Jeff, it's great to be back with you.
Tremendous. So, share with the Michigan business community what we're doing here today.
So it's a pretty special event. It's called Feeding Michigan and Beyond. And we're celebrating some of the work that has been done in the state to make historic investments to help children and seniors and families in between not wrestle with the toxic problem of being food insecure.
And what role does the Food Bank of Michigan serve in today's event?
So the Food Bank Council of Michigan, we are hosting the event. We're bringing legislators together. Senator Debbie Stabenow will be here. Senator Sarah Anthony, the chair of appropriates in the Michigan Senate, will be here with us, and we're celebrating what they've done. Now, Senator Stabenow is leading the Farm Bill discussions as chairwoman for the Ag Committee in the United States Senate, and we want to inspire her, and we want to say thank you to Senator Anthony and all those who had a part in these historic investments.
For the business community who has their heads down and not paying necessarily attention closely to the Farm Bill, what are you aware of regarding its status, of its process? It's the every 5 year, of course, but how far has it proceeded through D.C.?
So we're hopeful that we'll have a Farm Bill by the end of this calendar year. And I think we will. I think we're going to get down past the posturing from both sides so that we can find a bipartisan solution to many of the problems that the Farm Bill is designed to address.
Are there any issues that you'd love to have the ear of the senator to help sway, mold it into the fashion that serves the food banks of Michigan well?
So I think there's a couple of things that the Farm Bill could do in regard to innovation. And one would be there's a program that's administered by the United States Department of Agriculture called TFAP. That's the Emergency Food Assistance Program. And basically what that is, a safety net for farmers. And whenever the market's upset with a commodity, then the USDA will come in and buy that, and they'll use the Feeding America network, of which we are a part here in Michigan, to distribute that food to the families that are in need. So if we got a little more money into that, that would be wonderful. A second thing is we really need to, I think, innovate, Jeff, and that is how do we use existing infrastructure in order to get food to people who have a hard time getting to the food. I'm talking about disabled, seniors. And one way to do that is for charity, Food Bank Council, to partner with business like DoorDash to help that food get from the warehouse to the people on their doorstep that need it.
Michigan State, a fitting location to hold this, one of the original land-grant schools back in 1855 and serving agricultural studies through the years. So a great place, a great process, and so you mentioned that there will be some state officials on hand as well. Can you speak to their role assisting you and maybe communicating it back to the governor?
Yeah, so this legislature has come alongside us in a historic fashion. We have a program in partnership with the state of Michigan for, probably close to 35, 40 years now. It's called MASS, the Michigan Agricultural Surplus System, where they give us a grant and we buy directly from Michigan farmers, growers, producers, processors, and we then take that good fresh food and put it out into our distributions. So the Michigan legislature saw the advantage of helping farmers, helping families, and helping food banks, and they made a historic investment of raising that from $2 million with an increase of $10 million to take it to a total of $12 million per year ongoing. And we're, when somebody does something good for you, what do you say? Thank you, right? And that's what we're here to do.
Excellent, excellent. And, we know the role Senator Stabenow serves in D.C. being so crucial to the Farm Bill. Her coming back to her home state and her home university speaks something to how she still values that role, even now when some might say, well, she's coasting to the end of her service terms.
Yeah, so I think one of the things, if you know Senator Stabenow at all, this is a priority for her, and it has been for a long time. The Farm Bill and all that it touches, particularly for those families that are in need. And I can't imagine her missing the opportunity to influence and craft this Farm Bill, but I can't imagine her missing an opportunity to promote this work as well. And so she's been a person that has stood in the gap with us for many, many years.
Excellent. As we go to wrap this up, well, we spoke up at, several places this year along the way. We've had a discussion ongoing over the years. How are the boots on the ground, your branches of the food banks across Michigan doing now, considering some of the changes in either logistics or supplies or other conditions? What's the status here in mid to late August?
So it's been a tough 18 months because we've had disruptions in the supply chain, which everybody knows about, whether you're buying food or trying to do a home project. There's been some disruption in the supply chain. Ours has been no different. And so that has smoothed out a little bit. More food is coming from the USDA. Now with this appropriation beginning October 1st, we'll be able to start to buy product here in Michigan. And the key to that is to support and shorten our supply chain. And that's what this appropriation will do for us. So hopefully we won't have to have this discussion about shortage of food for people in need very much longer because of these historic investments.
Anything else you would like the business community to know? If not, what's that contact information for the Food Bank Council of Michigan?
Yeah, I think one thing, Jeff, that's really important to think about when we look at what this budget does, take the school meals for all. It's $160 million, and guarantee every kid in Michigan public schools has access to breakfast and lunch. So why is that important? Here's why. If they're not well fed, they'll never be well read. In about 5, 10, maybe 12 years from now, these are the kids that we're going to be trying to hire in our business. So let's go back to that. If they're not well fed, they'll never be well read. And we all know that reading is the key to success, being able to be a productive person in the workforce. So that's why business should be concerned about this issue of food security. And you can find us at fbcmich.org, and that's a great place to look.
Well, Dr. Phil, thank you so much for spending some time with the Michigan Business Beat today.
It's my pleasure, Jeff, always.
Dr. Phil Knight, the Executive Director of the Food Bank Council of Michigan, and we'll be back with more from the campus of Michigan State University for Feeding Michigan and Beyond on the Michigan Business Beat on Michigan Business Network.